dear brothers and sisters, dear Sangha, dear family. So today we have a special time together. So let us sit beautifully. All the children, please sit beautifully. We have a chance to have questions and respond, and this is very special and happy moment to have children and teens. So before we start, we want to ask everybody sit and beautifully we stop talking, follow your breathing and listen to 3 sound the bell, okay? So whenever we listen to the bell, we close our eyes and we follow our breathing. Recognize that breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I am breathing out. And relax the whole body. So dear respected church, dear monastic siblings, brothers and sisters, and dear Sangha, dear family. So today we have a Q&A, questions and response session. And before we start, I would like to introduce very shortly, okay? On my left, my brother's brother Pháp Dung, for the popcorn, okay? So he's one of the elder brother here. And if the difficult questions, my brothers will answer, will share. Everybody say hi to Brother Popcorn? Yeah, wonderful. So on the very far right, Sister Tuk Nghiêm. Sister Tuk Nghiêm is sister, also one of the elder sisters. Sister enough, know that you are enough. Sister Tuk Nghiêm. So can you raise your hand to say hi to Sister Tuk Nghiêm? On my right, Sister Lệ Nghiêm, Sister Respect. She's also one of the elder sisters. And can you say hi to Sister Respect? And myself, Brother Mante, Brother Insights, one of the young brother in Solidarity Hamlet. Can you just raise your hand to say hi to? Wonderful. So we are here for you, and we know that you are there, and we are very happy. Today we have questions and response. And the way to do ask questions is we will to ask the children first to come up to ask the questions, and also twins and also teens. And after that, we will be young adults and adults. The good questions can help a lot of people. And good questions don't need to ask from your head, but you ask from your heart. The questions to ask is have to do with your practice, with your happiness, your suffering, your difficulties, something that you are struggling right now, something from your families. For example, you can ask, how can I help my father to be more compassionate in the family? You can ask a question like that from the children. So you can ask a question in such a way that related to your family, related to yourself, related to your school, or related to your practice, your feelings, you're struggling right now. Something have to do with your practice, something to do with your happiness or your suffering. Okay. So this question can be very helpful and very useful for all of us. Okay, we don't need to ask the question about like your what is the Buddhism, what is like how many monks here, you can ask later, or like what is your favorite color, those questions you can ask later, but this time you can ask something more. Once you want to know about us, want to deepen your practice. So, and also you can ask questions for your family, your friends as well, huh? So we would like to offer opportunity for children. Please come up if you have a questions. 1, 2, 3, yeah? Yeah, you sit on the chair, over there. Yeah. And if you are the other children, if you have a question, please also come to sit nearby him, okay, in the back. And the teens also, yeah? So we put the microphone down. We wait for in order to ask a question, we listen to one side of the bell. You put the microphone down, okay? Close your eyes and listen to the bell first.
Who are the teeth for? Yeah, what is the T for?
How is it? How's the tea? Is good? Is good? What do you think the tea come from?
Herbal happy farm.
Yeah, come from a farm.
I know everything about happy farm.
Oh, wonderful. Can you teach me later? Okay? Okay, so thank you for your question. Now you know what the tea is for. You can go back and sit and drink it there, okay? And listen to everyone else. There you go. Beautiful. Thank you for finding out what we do. I'm so happy. Okay, let's listen to one sound of the bell, okay? We close our eyes before we ask our question and check to see if our question comes from our heart. Okay, is it really coming from us? Or are we trying to just impress people? Is it really our question or is it someone else's question? So close your eyes. Okay, ask yourself, is this really what I want to ask? So listen to the bell, okay?
Why did you guys choose to be monks and nuns?
Why are you monks and nuns?
What's your name? Orion. Dear Orion, until now I can say something about being a nun. I have time to being for myself more than if I care for many for the, as a nun we have a lot of time to take care for our soul, our body, and our community, and also have a lot of time to being with the people coming to us like you. We're very happy to have you here. Yeah, thank you.
You understand, Orion? Thank you. Okay, let's listen. Okay?
Why do all of the monks wear the cape things? The robes.
Yes? Why do we wear these robes?
So, thank you for your questions. We have a uniform. So, when you go to school, do you have a uniform? No? I see some school have certain clothes, right? So our monastic we also wearing the long robe like this and brown. So this is the robe of represent the earth. So we want to be humble. We want to practice like the earth. But at the same time, that we practice to have a generosity. We have a lot of love for all beings and to cultivate the solidity like the earth. You see this kind of like color like the earth. When you mix all the color and become this color. So this color represents simplicity, but also represents the earth of solidity. So we don't have a time, so much time like you guys. So we when we go to schedule, we just have one kind of robe, we just wear, and then we go to schedule. So we try to practice simplicity, but at the same time to have less choice. And also for monks and nuns, we have our own aspirations. So we look like we are different than you. You see, when we are become a monk, we shave our hair, we have this kind of uniform. So very unique, you see that, he already become a monk. So you need to protect him, and you also support him to become on that path. You see? So that is the way that we also have kind of really unique and have our also clothes like this. Mm-hmm. Is that okay? Good? Thank you for asking question. We have more, maybe one more question from children. Yeah, and then we ask teens. Is there any teens you have a question? Please come forward, okay? After this.
Why do you guys shave?
Do you get a haircut? Do you sometimes get your mom cut your hair?
Yeah, but why are you bald?
Right. But if you let your hair long, it will get very long, right? And then sometimes you get to cut it, right? So we choose to cut more of it. You see? In the old time in India, a long time ago, you know, they leave their hair very long. It's kind of like a show, kind of like a kind of, they have like, it's like a status, a power, you know? Now, so when the Buddha, you know, is an Indian man, he wanted to go on the search, a spiritual path, right? And he didn't believe that having hair give you like power or like look good, right? So he shaved it off, kind of like to say, this is not where beauty is. This is not where power is. You understand? So your hair right now, you like it, right? You think you look good. You don't. If someone cut like in the middle of like that, you'll probably cry, because now you don't look like like yourself, right? Malachi, what happened to you, right? So when you shave your head like this, people will come up to you. It's like, you know, wow, you look so different, you know. And it's like it kind of, you know, challenged them, right? And then, so it's kind of like beauty, right? Right now, you love your hair, you look the way you do it. Just imagine someone going, and then you have a little freeway in your head. You will probably be very embarrassed to walk around. Everybody look at you. You don't look like, you know. So rather than doing just one, we do everything. And when I walk in the street down here sometime in Escondido, and the little kids, they hide behind their mom, and it's like, Mom, what is that? Yeah, because they don't see people like this, right? Wearing brown and bald. And then you know what I do? I stop, and I go really slow, and I look at the kid, and I go, I'm a Jedi. And I go, because for some reason, all the kids know what a Jedi is. How many of you know what a Jedi is? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we're kind of like a Jedi. Because the Jedi, what is a Jedi? Jedi is one trained, right? Yes, I'm kind of a Jedi. Actually, you know what we're called? We're called a Mooney. A Mooney is a new type of kind of a very similar line as a Jedi. It's called a Mooney. And those Mooney, they learn how to master themselves. When I get angry, I learn to come back. I don't let the anger take over. How many of you get angry? Yeah? What happened? You lose control, right? And you do, and you say really awful things to hurt your sister, to hurt your brother, to hurt your parent back. A Mooney, like a Jedi. What the Jedi master themselves, right? They know how to like have power, right? Our power is we learn to master our anger. When we get angry, we go. Yeah. Okay. Yes, because I am a kind of Jedi. I have special power. I show you later, okay? Yes. And so now when you shave our head, is to remind ourselves why we chose to be a monk or a nun. You understand? Every time I wake up, I touch my head. Okay, my life is to serve other people. My life is not just to make myself only happy. I can help other people. You see that? And when I touch my head, I remember the first time this Indian person in India, 2,500 years ago, he said, that is not the true beauty of a human being. So he shaved his hair very long. And many students, after that, they follow him. Well, you know what happened? Like 200, 300 people, students, they also want to be his student. And they shaved their head, and they put it in the river. And people saw all this hair flow down the river. And in India, like, you know, to cut your hair off is like, it's kind of punkish, you know, crazy. But then they meet the Buddha and they see he's very kind, very compassionate, and they understand. And then slowly they learn that people with bald head, that means they choose a different life, right? They don't want to go become a business person, to have a car, a house, and all these things. Their whole life is to walk around and help other people be happy and find peace. Okay? So when you see someone bald like this, remember that. They are beautiful because of inside, not outside. Okay? One day I will shave your head, okay? And see if you can handle it. Your mom and dad will go, oh no, what did you do, type of Dung? I've done that before for the whole family, you know. It's very beautiful. So thank you for your question. You understand? All right.
Teens, your twins here? Twins and teens?
Any twin? Have a question? Any twins have a question? Come up. Okay, one twin, okay? Twin is, what age is the twin? 10 to 12. 10 to 12. So you can handle, sit down.
Listen to the bell first, okay?
I'm wondering why it's called Deer Park, because I don't really see a lot of deer here. My name is Kira.
Deer Park. You know this place was called Deer Park before we came here? The street, the road that you drive up, is called Deer Park Lane. Can you believe that? So when the monks and nuns, they were going around, the lay friend, all the Sangha here in the Southern California were looking for land. And they show us this land. And so when we came here, it was too big. It was really crazy expensive. And so when Suko Changkong, our eldest nun, came to our teacher and said, this land is perfect for a monastery. But our teacher said, that's quite a big cow. I don't know if we can handle the cow that big. And then Suko Changkong, you know what she said? She said, Thai, it's already called Deer Park. And Deer Park is a very, the first place in India that the Buddha gave his first teaching after he got enlightened. So it's very, how do you call it, very special. It's kind of like when the stars line up. And so things started to happen, and here we are. In the old days, there used to be deers here, and there's a road behind here called Cougar Pass. And behind here is 3,000 acres of reserve, wildlife reserve. So they protect the land for the animals. So there used to be a lot more deers in all of America, in California, and we see some. Last year we saw 4 deers. So there are some. But as you can see around, as you drive up, there's so many houses, right? So the houses are like encroaching on the land of the deers. But luckily, our land here is like almost 4,000 acres plus, you know, the daily ranch. So the deers have a lot of place. So if you are lucky, you go and you find places that are wet, and you'll find the deer footprint. So they're still around, but they're very, very skillful because the coyote is kind of looking for them. And so they know how to hide. And there's so many other animals too. So that's why it's called Deer Park. It used to be a lot of deers here. But I see that more and more humans are coming. And so when we see a wild animal, we feel for them. This used to be their land. The rattlesnakes used to live here. They live here now. You might see some if you're lucky, and know that this is where they live. We're visiting. And same thing, we saw a bobcat the other day, Taimang Toy and I. They were hanging out under the sand in the pond. So there's still a lot of wild animals. There's like many other animals. Coyotes, rabbits. You seen rabbits? Hawks. Lots of spiders. And if you're lucky, there's also a rosy boa. They're very rare. And they're also endangered. And we saw one, someone filmed one crossing the road. It's like this long. And it moves like a snail, like really slow. So keep your eye out, okay? So besides deers, we have a lot. We have tarantulas. You guys like tarantulas? They also live here. And ants, we have all kinds of ants. So Deer Park to me is also land for many other animals, okay? So when you see them, you don't be afraid. This is their home, and we're sharing their home with them, okay? So if you're lucky, keep an eye out for a deer. Thank you for your question.
My name is Caleb, and how did the Buddha become the Buddha?
Hello. Do you know what Buddha means? Yes? What did you know? How did you know? What the Buddha mean?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay. So the Buddha means the awakened one. He's awakened from forgetfulness, from ignorance. He's a human being like us. He was born in the royal family, and he has a beautiful wife and a beautiful child, a son, very young. But then he experienced so much suffering in the world and in his own family, in himself, in his parents, and his people in the palace and also in his country. So he wants to understand why there is so much suffering and where the suffering comes from. And he really wants to understand his own suffering and to help other people to understand their suffering. So he left the palace. He left his parents and his wife and his son to go to seek his answers and to seek the answer for his questions. So he went to the forest to meditate, and he learned and he meditated with many different teachers, spiritual teachers. But then he still couldn't find his answers. So he decided to go and to meditate on his own. And he was sitting under the foot of a tree, and he meditated for 49 days and nights. And then the last day of the 49 days, and he has the answer for his questions. So that's how people. He didn't call himself the Buddha. So in Sanskrit, words Buddha mean awaken, and Buddhas mean the awakened one, the one who awakens. And then the tree that he sits under the tree to meditate for 49 days, then people call the Bodhi tree. So it wasn't called the Bodhi tree. We had some tree out there. We also call the Bodhi tree. That's the Bodhi tree. So it wasn't called the Bodhi tree. But after the Buddha got enlightened, awakened, and people call him the Buddha. And the tree that he sit under to meditate on the Bodhi tree. So the Buddha means the one who awakens from ignorance, from forgetfulness, and he's also become our teacher. And now he passed on the practice, the path for us. And if we follow his teaching, follow his path, and we also become a Buddha. So we are a Buddha to be. You are the Buddha to be. If you practice, you follow the teaching of the Buddha, you also become a Buddha. You like it? Okay, thank you.
Maybe actually,
Dear Sangha, my question is, how do I be the best parent to my son? My dad raised 2 girls as a single father, and he came over to the US during the Vietnam War. And he was imprisoned in a labor camp for 2 years, and he raised us by fear. And from him, I've learned how not to be a parent, but I know that when I'm at my last straw, I go back to those ways. So really, it's how do I let him be him? And I have a whole set of values that I feel like I'm trying to impose on him and oppress on him. And I know him, the more that I try to do that, the more he rebels and resists. So I guess, how do I enjoy being a parent? And how do I let him be him in this journey?
Yeah, you're part of the generation, the boat people generation. I'm also part of that, and I also had the same observation of my parents. Through the practice, it helped me heal. Thai taught me how to look at my father when he was a child, when he was a teenager doing war, as a young husband, trying to raise a family and being threatened by the military. So you go through your parents' lives, and in meditation, you visualize it. And you try to put all the stories together and kind of make up parts of it to kind of merge from your intuition. And then you also focus on like how my dad also would just ride us to the beach on his motorcycle when I was young. And I asked him that, and he said, and I told him, like, isn't that scary to have your baby, like, where the gas tank is without seatbelt? And then my dad said, yeah, that's how they do it in Vietnam. And so your dad loved you guys very much, or else he wouldn't be able to do what he did as a single parent. And so, but it's easy for us to, impose all the things on that and not see the love that he had for us, you know. And so with the practice, I begin to focus on that. Of course, he has flaws. You know, he came over, he couldn't adapt, and he went to gambling and those things. To me, those things are not bad things. It's how he coped with it. So everyone tries to do their best. That's what I finally realized. If anything, it sounds so simple. Everybody's trying to do their best. And same thing with my mom and my dad. My mom, anxiety and, you know, always subservient and trying to serve and not good enough. And so you recognize all those. And they're also trying their best to be their parent. But the conditions that they had during wartime, it's tough. And coming over here to adapt to American culture. And so those kind of understanding helped me not even demand any more from him, to know that he did his best. And all I can do is like now ride the canoe with him and not let him focus on the past. So I, you know, when he's sick days last year that I take care of him, I would bring lunch to him, and he's not supposed to eat bánh chưng, but I would bring it to him because that's his favorite stuff. And he knows that, you know, he only has a certain amount of time left. So we enjoy. So it's very precious to just do what you can and not hold resentment or hate in your heart. He still had it, my dad, towards others, his friends, a little bit towards my mom. And that's their karma, and you can't change that. However you want to try. It's like a root that grew up, and you cut that root, the tree dies. So you learn to climb over the root. You know the root there, right? And you just don't fall over it. So you know your parents have these habits. There's no way you're going to change that. It's like a tree that has a huge root coming out of the asphalt road, and people can fall if they're not careful. But if you cut that root, the tree dies. So what you do? You navigate. You go around the root. So you know those things don't help. So you kind of like, Dad, check this out. You know, let's go outside and do some grass. And you also know your limitation is like, look, Dad, not today, okay? So I also let my dad know, you know, that I have limits. And then, you know, we learn to adjust. And I got angry at my dad as a monk as well. And he knows it. He's like, you don't push my button, Dad. You know, so it's like we have an agreement, you know. It's like, I don't push your button, you don't push mine. And so we learn to navigate with each other's habits. So, and you need to practice to train yourself and to be non-reactive. To also, you have also all that energy your dad has. Kind of like very strong will, you know, these kind of things that I had from my parents. We all have that. And you know, for you to recognize that is a good sign of maturity, actually. Maturity for me is when you finally realize you're like your parents. Right? You haven't matured yet when you're like, no, I'm not like my parent. I was like, come on. You're not exactly like your parents, but you're probably not that far off. And that's also beautiful. And through the practice, you can transform that. It's like, hey, Dad, I'm good, you know. And so there's so many good qualities in my dad that I'm continuing. Luckily, I don't gamble anymore, and luckily, I don't drink, you know. It's like, I got that down. So you continue the good things of your dad and your mom and your ancestor. The kind of not so good stuff, skillful, not bad. They're not bad. They're just like, you know, not skillful. They just didn't learn how to control themselves and restrain, right? So no one is ever bad. It's just they can't have the self-control that we also lose control. We learn, we also lose restraining ourselves as well. And we, you know, when we hit our limit, we are like that. So there's nothing bad about it. It's just, you know, everybody's based on the condition, the family upbringing, the social, environmental, political situation. You know, right now, so many families going through what we went through, the Vietnamese people. Right now with the Mexican and the Latinx community. So this is continuing. So when you practice, you're not doing it just for your dad or your family. You're doing it for many generations that have been atroced by violence and discrimination. So this is why I choose this path, because we don't want to continue that karma. So we end it here. So you practice for your family, for yourself. So when you become happy, you know how to take care of yourself. You'll see your dad will be smiling inside of you. Not the one outside, maybe he doesn't recognize it, but you also have a father inside, a mother inside, and you can transform that. And so this is when you practice and you're whole, you're balanced, you don't feel regret, you don't feel like you need to do any more for your dad. It stops here. See? You don't continue those ways, right? You don't blame your dad, but you have some wisdom now that, okay, I'm going to do it differently. But not to say that, oh, that's bad. He said, no, that's where he had to deal with. So there's some compassion there for him. So that's something you can transmit to your kids. Thank you for your practice.
Thank you. My question is, how should we think about receiving the 5 mindfulness trainings? How do we know when we're ready to receive or which ones to choose to receive? I was reading through them yesterday and thinking, I would like to aspire to these things, but I don't know if I feel like I can really achieve any one of them completely. So I would like to hear from your perspective how we should think about that. Thank you.
So dear respected teacher, dear Sangha, so what is your name, my dear friend? Lizzie, yeah. Thank you for consider asking this question. Can be very good for inspire people. Please, how many of you don't receive the 5 mindfulness trainings yet? Okay, so you may consider, after this, hopefully you receive it all. You know, we become a monks and a nuns. We also pursue the path. And it does not mean that we achieve anything, but we want to practice. We want to walk on that path. The 5 mindfulness training is the guidelines, the path of awareness, of compassion, understanding. That we love to walk on this path. You know, now in the world, so many suffering out there, so many discrimination, so many things happen that make you feel like hatred, anger can happen anytime. And we need more people have a compassion in their hearts, right? Practice 5 mindfulness training is cultivate energy of compassion. But it does not mean that you achieve, you become something else. But you just want to transform, want to cultivate this kind of energy. For example, reverence for life. I want to be more compassionate to the earth, to all beings. That actually, those kind of sources is, without them, I cannot exist in this world. For example, how can you live if we don't have forests, if we don't have mountain, we don't have the earth, we don't have the sun, We don't have all the trees and grass, everything like that. So thinking about this training, actually I feel inspired right now. Because people, right now, we are victims of like anger, of discrimination, of intolerance. So someone have a lot of love, a lot of compassion, a lot of inclusiveness, you know. We're not victim about those things. And those people have those kind of things. We have a lot of people in the world as well. But also we have your family, and then we feel happy. So work on this path is actually you cultivate happiness and peace for yourself and then for your new generations. So that's why when you think about this, you feel, wow, I feel this path is beautiful. I want to work on it. I want to cultivate this for me and for the world. So look at the 5 mindfulness training. It's not about something that you need to like you take a few to the Buddha, take a few to the Dharma, and then to become completely like achieving something. You will awaken right away, but you feel that this path is really beautiful. Open your eyes. That you inspire to cultivate this kind of energy that in the world they lack of. And because they lack of, they bring too much suffering to the world at the same time. So to see the aware of suffering caused by each training, that actually you see there's suffering right there, there's the causes of suffering right there. And then you feel, wow, I don't want to create more causes of the suffering anymore. I want to do opposite. I want to do different ways. It means I want to cultivate compassion. I want to cultivate the eyes of love, the eyes of inclusiveness, the eye of non-discrimination. And I do for myself first, and I do for my children. That's what I want to practice 5 trainings. I take one, it's okay. You can take 1, 2. For example, you want to take like deep listening and loving speech. That you want to practice that for yourself and for your family. So the 5 training is not something that you be perfect, you become like someone, you achieve something, but it is the path, it is aspiration, it is the way of love, understanding that all of us inspire ourselves to practice, to change, to cultivate energy, to offer to ourselves and offer to the world. So I think please, if you don't receive yet, you can receive to practice, because it is actually needed. We also companions of you. We also practice trainings. We have novice precepts, 10 precepts, 250 mindfulness trainings of Bhikshu and Bhikshunis, Bhikshunis more. And we practice one is not only for ourselves. We practice to transform ourselves, but at the same time transform our ancestors and offer this to the world. So the other day I feel very happy to see 2 children, 2 children somehow in the back of my room. I sit one afternoon 2 days ago. I see 2 children just ran down very fast and run up. But I don't know what they're doing. Just ran down. They just laugh. And just enjoy friends together and ran up and ran down and ran up. And I don't know what they're doing, but they enjoy it. They enjoy, like, they feel like safe here. They feel like it's family here. They have friends here. They just ran and they just laugh. I feel so happy to see that. So if we know how to practice mindfulness trainings, actually you create the space for all the beings to feel safe, for your families to feel safe, to create a space of great more peace and love to the people, to the where you are living also. So thank you for your asking questions. So if you are not received a training yet, please consider. And to take one training is also practice not for yourself, but also for your generations, for society as well. Thank you.
So yesterday I learned about the idea of impermanence, impermanence in like myself and my family, and the people I love. And I guess that's something I was already familiar with, but the realization that in my day-to-day life I don't really embody that, right? It's kind of just like, yeah, it's tomorrow will be the same as today, and I'm just gonna do what makes me feel good in the moment, right? While ignoring this impermanence. But now I want to not ignore this impermanence anymore, right? I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to put the things that matter ahead. So the place I'm going, I think, is good, but it's coming from right now like a place of fear, right? A place of a fear of death, of ending, right? And I don't want to like spend more time with my friends because he's going to go off to college, or spend more time with my family because I know at some point my parents will pass on, right? So I was wondering if there's some way to look at this differently, as like a way to do things that matter, not out of a place of fear, but out of some other perspective.
As I understand that we treasure the presence of our parents, so we would like to spend more time with them. But at the same time, we fear, we scare of they will death, something like that. Yes. My brothers and sisters will add later as after I share. This is in my opinion about this. Yeah, impermanence and impermanence. If we look deeply, we feel treasure and feel that is the precious time for us and the loved ones. And the more we spend time with them, at the same time, we feel the short time being with them. Now we use this reality, this truth to become more fruit for our life. We know that as impermanence, we see that something happens being there, and then they have a lifetime, and then they will become another another form. First, we treasure their presence by being present time with them wholeheartedly. If you work or you have more friends, it's okay. But when you come home, you can be present 100% with your parents. You listen deeply. You listen and you be 100% your presence for your parents. Don't let anything worry about the work or the study bury your presence, being with them 100%, and you can offer more your attention and your care, and that is the present time with them by being your presence. And also in your daily life or in your workplace, whatever you do, you also bring your parents with you. You would like to do good things, and at the same time, that is your parents work that too. If you have people, or if you, we have a lot of things from the action, from the hands, or from the just in mind. We raise up the compassionate, something like that, and also your parents do the same with you in your body, in your mind. I work that for my parents. It looks like you come here for the retreat. When you do any meditation, eating meditation or sitting like this, breathing and walking, and also have the serving mindful service, everything, moment and moment, you also do that with your parents. That is in Buddhism, we call that the ultimate dimension. We live here, but our parents and our ancestors and also our children too do with us at the same time. And then the liberation and the path, the way out is also in the present moment. We scare they disappear, they will die, but also they live with us moment and moment. And time by time of practicing, live like that, always present in us, ancestors in us, our children in us. The notion of being as a form disappear, because whenever we are still alive, our own society to our living beings to everything in us, and we can do for them. And we have more about that, but also I have that share first, and our sister, brothers, and can share add more in order clearer.
Thank you for asking question, and thank you, Sister Nghiêm. From the teaching yesterday, Sister D also shared about the insight of interbeing, and the impermanence is like that. It's also the insight of impermanence. So we would need to be present and mindful, and to live more deeply so that we can understand the nature of impermanence. If we just think, in our mind that it's impermanence, and then it will give rise to thinking and trigger fear. So we already, when we are mindful, we already see the impermanence, the nature of impermanence happen in every moment. When you experience fear or anxiety in your body just right now, but then coming back to the mindful breathing, coming back to the present moment and breathe for a few minutes, you already experience differently. You experience ease, calm, and peace. So that is also, you experience impermanence. And to be aware and to understand the nature of impermanence is helping us to be more present and to appreciate, to cherish, everything in the present moment. Our body, our ability to think, to see, to feel, and also to appreciate and to cherish that what we have in our life, our parents. They are still with us, our friends, our relationship, because we really don't know what happened tomorrow. It's not that out of fear that we have to do things right now, but we don't know about the future. So if we don't know about the future, why don't we just live wholeheartedly in the present moment? And whatever happened in the future, tomorrow, we don't regret, because we already lived our wholehearted, our fully in the present moment. So aware of impermanence, understand the nature of impermanence, is helping us to be more present, to live more deeply the present moment, and to appreciate, to cherish, and to be grateful for what we have now, because things can change in every moment. Not even from today and tomorrow, but in every minute. So actually, impermanence is helping us to live more deeply, to live more happily and joyfully, and to be more grateful, to appreciate everything is more deeply. If we think, and if we live in our mind, we think about impermanence, and we think about if we are thinking, then it will give rise to fear and anxiety, and we act out of fear, and that is not it's coming from the inside of impermanence, or aware and understand of impermanence, because the impermanence helping us to know, to be aware that everything is changing. So we have to appreciate and to cherish and to be grateful for everything in the present moment, and we live deeply the present moment. We offer what we can to people around us, and what we can offer now, because we don't know if tomorrow we have the opportunity to do it or not. So if we always coming back to the present moment, it will not give rise to the feeling of fear or anxiety. And whatever we do, we do from that inside, and we do it from love, from appreciation, and from gratitude. I hope that is helpful. Thank you.
When I first learned this as a novice monk, Thầy taught me to hang a dry leaf over my bed. Do you have a bed? Is it bunk bed? No? Okay, just get a string and find a leaf. There's a Bodhi leaf out here, right? It's kind of brown and dying. Pick some that are it remind you that, impermanence, right? You tie it to a string, you pin it up there on the ceiling, and it's right over your bed. So when you wake up, it's right there, okay? So that's how I train, to remind myself every time I wake up. So you use it to contemplate, and you'll discover for yourself many wonderful things, especially when things break. Breathe, and then so you slowly train. You look at the flower. So, like you say, how to practice? Hang that leaf, okay? That's your homework. Put it over your bed, so measure it so that it's right there when you're sitting on your bed, it's right there. And you take a breath, and it's like, breathe, and then you go brush your teeth, wash your face, and then you continue to do that. And more you'll live with that mindfulness, with everyone, everything. It's wonderful. Good luck, huh?
Dear Taiko, dear Sangha, my name is On, and my answer is there any doubt or regret after you made the decision to become a monk or a nun? Because because to make that decision, you know that you have to give up a lot of things, like no more entertainment or hobbies of the normal life, and you have to make a commitment with that. So I'm just curious that at that moment that you decide to practice it, is there any doubt or regret after that?
Oh, so thank you for asking the question. But to be honest, do we regret anything? For me, I think like this is the best decision ever in my life to become a monk. Because not about regrets, but right now we already become, the monk for 25 years, 30 years, or 20 years, whatever. And then I realized that because when I decided, actually I feel awkward to decide it. But later on, I feel I was smart to start become a monk at the age very early. Right now, my sisters, my sister go through have 2 kids and then have difficulties. My brothers, and I feel, wow. Slowly, my insight is grow up and thought, wow, this is the best decision in my life. I started to say yes to train as a monk at the age 14 years old. No girlfriend, no career, no money, nothing, right? But if I wait until like my brother right now have 2 kids or girlfriend or and have problem in the family like that, and I feel, wow, this is like I'm so lucky. I used to share this with my mom and my dad and my family, and actually I thank you to them. When I decided, actually, because my parents also support me, and my root teacher also support me because he asked me, do you want to become a monk? And actually I just say, yes, I do, without any why I say yes. And later on, wow, this is the best ever. So, but actually, if we say, sometimes we also up and down, but it's not about regrets, but sometimes we feel like the challenges come up. Also, the journey of the monks and the nuns to ordain and to practice to maintain how to become a monk, happy monk and a nun, it means you also need a sangha. We also need training. The journey need to really have a way to really nourish our bodhicitta. So I'm so lucky that thanks to the sangha, thanks to the dharma, the sangha, the dharma, actually made my aspiration shines more bright. And that I see my path is more right. Sometimes you do things in the world that even you decided to get married, right? I said that, oh, I got the right person. But later on, actually, it's not. Later on, because you just see that person halfway only. and then you have problem. That's why you break up or you divorce. And right now in the world, so many people like a single mom. Right now in this retreat, so many single moms bring 2 children come here, or single dads, or some of them divorced, some of them not divorced. They have problem. But also we also have problem. But it's not about regrets. But we really grown up. But thank you to the Sangha, thank you to the Dharma. We practice to see our past is more like bright, and then we also walk on the right path because the Sangha. So the practice of monks and nuns is not only like bang phang, it's always like a flat, smooth, but we also receive the challenges. So me, I receive a lot of challenges. So that's why I grow up. In order to grow up and face with the challenge, you need to have a great bodhicitta, a great mind of love. And in order to nourish that is sustainable, we need to have a Sangha community. So that's why you see monks and nuns here. We live in a community. And then what we've been doing is actually we make our life is more happy and peaceful. And we offer peace and happiness to the people at the same time. And the more we have people, the stronger we are. So that is a way into being together. But the answer is do we regret anything? I feel very blessed. Do you regret? Yeah.
Are you considering becoming a nun? No.
Not now.
Okay. So I do have a regret when I just ordained, and my regret is that I regret that I didn't ordain earlier. I decided to become a nun when I was 34, and it's just because I encountered the practice quite late when I was 30. So I had to finish everything that I was doing in order to go to the monastery. And as soon as I become a nun and practicing with the Sangha, and I see many young brothers and sisters, they ordain at a very young age. And my only regrets for over 20 years now is that I didn't have opportunity to ordain earlier when I was younger, at my younger age.
Please do not leave your family. Stay with them. We're quite biased, okay? So we love family, we support family, and we support happy family. So don't all become monks and nuns, right? It's like terrible. It's really bad. So stay with your family.
Dear Thai, dear Sangha, my name is Maddie, and this practice has given me so much love and happiness and patience, and I keep getting stuck in one place. I see these beautiful, good hearts all around me, and I don't see my own good heart. And it makes it also hard to see the good hearts of my children. And I wonder how to move from feeling so bad into having grace and kindness to myself.
Hello, thank you for asking question. I feel moved, so I pick up the microphone first. I always see that when you see something and when you can see something, it means that you have it inside of you. So you see the goodness in other people. It means that the seed of goodness is in you. So that's why you can see. If you don't know what is goodness, then you cannot recognize, you cannot see. So when we can see goodness in everyone, in many people, you can see the beauty in things and in people around you. It means that inside of you, there is many seeds of goodness and beauty. So you only need to cultivate that because it's there already. You need to cultivate, to water them, and to give them condition to manifest, and also in your children too. So it's sometimes normally it's easier for us to see things inside of us, and it's more difficult for us to see inside of us, and especially with the wholesome and good and the wholesome quality, the goodness in us, is more difficult to see. It's easier. We often to see, there's the bad side in us. We feel that we are not good. We are so bad. We are so not, unkind. And that is very easy for us to see and to say it out loud. But it's hard, it's harder to recognize the goodness, the beauty inside of us. But the good news is that when you can see beauties around you, when you can see goodness in people, it's truly that there is seed in you, many good seeds in you. So just coming back to yourself, to practice to be more present with yourself, and to recognize these good quality, good seeds in you, and water them, and give them opportunity to grow. I already see these goodness, these good seeds in you. When you start, when you just start to speak and to say that it's, we appreciate everything's here, everything is so beautiful. That is the goodness in you, the beauty in you. That is also manifest in your words. It's not just in your consciousness, but it's already manifesting. You need to recognize and you need to see this. Thank you. My brother will share more. But I feel moved hearing your question.
When I first learned, our teacher shared that the people are just unskillful. It really helped me in my judgment of myself and other people. So there's no good person, bad person. There's no good and evil. It's just people are unskilled, okay? And our parents were unskilled. They raised us in a certain way. So we, our family, our relatives, our upbringing, so it instilled in us things that are not helpful. And so it becomes a habit. Our way of thinking and being detrimental to ourselves is a habit. It's a skill. You learn that through raising and reacting and hiding and showing off and being overconfident. That's also a habit. Someone who's overly confident is also very nervous. So these are all habits. You see it around you. Even the military people, they don't have hate. They've been trained. Our politicians, they have been trained by the political system. You see, they are not evil people. People on the protests doing horrendous, hateful, violent, killing each other, they've been trained. They are not evil people. They have been skilled in a certain way. So they're unskilled. You see it? So you no longer judge them in terms of good or bad, but they're just not trained. A mind that is not trained, that is not skillful, causes suffering to ourselves and to other people. So the trick here is to train your mind. You change and direct your energy. So anytime you feel that, that those thoughts come up, you bring your arm together like this. I used to do this. I hug myself. And I give myself love. You try it, right? You put your two arms like that. Close your eye. I'm here for you. I am good enough with what I have. I'm learning to be more skillful every day. So you rehabituate yourself with these thoughts. And they're not auto-suggestion. They're energetically, you have to really hug yourself. Because you are so a mother and a child within yourself. So this is, the child is, kind of like, that's how they react, right? If you judge. So you can also be the mother of your inner child. And you can lay down, relax, and you begin to create habits that bring you joy, to generate happiness. Whether that's taking care of the garden, taking care of your kid, folding clothes, doing laundry, involving yourself in local neighborhood projects, things that nourish you. And that's how you redirect and get more skillful. In meditation is to rehabituate. We have a lot of habits of thinking. So when a thought rises, you recognize, this is my judging mind. I used to call my habitual perfectionist mind Bob. I go, hello, Bob. When I see the mat and it's not lined up, and I see the chairs, there's one that is kind of like, it happened this morning. And I see the kids and the people, hello, Bob. I used to call it, because it makes me smile. And I say, hello, Bob. So you can give a judging mind, especially the one judging yourself, a name, yeah? Bob makes me smile, And so anytime that rises, you counteract it. It's like, okay, I know you're there, Bob. I take care of you. People are just doing their best. Let's put down the judgment. I'm doing my best. Let's not be so hard on myself. I'm enough in this moment. And slowly, your neural pathway will direct the energy. It's all habitual. So you need to learn a new skill, okay? And anytime you do that, counteract it. Change the peg with another thought that is more reviving, more life-giving than the other one that kind of... And then you will do that with your children too. Affirm their life. And then also train and discipline them. When those things, children are exactly a reflection of our mind. They also need discipline. They also need enlivening, right? So this is what the beauty of being a mother is. You can direct your child so they grow up whole and feel good and not be judgmental of themselves as well. This is your journey, not just you, but now you can do it you meet someone at the grocery and they're really hard on themselves. Oh, no, it's okay, you're doing that to yourself too, because it's mirroring, right? So that's the path, to choose the right attention instead of wrong attention. That is the training. So it's a skill, and you need to train and learn that skill. So it's not hearing me makes sense, but you got to do the training. So thank you for being there.
So the Sangha is right now is 12:20. So this is the last question. Okay. So sorry for the friend come up, but the time is limited. You may write down the questions or something to really bring to the concentration or something. Or if you've written down the question, we bring to the Dharma teacher offer talks next few days.
Thank you. My name is Iona. My question was related to the previous question, which you answered. But to build on that, how do I leave a place that is full of support and love and energy that will help me train and take it back into my life? You mentioned Sangha was a big part of an essential part of the experience. Do you believe that when we go home to our families, our jobs, our responsibilities, do we seek out our own communities? Or is the training something which is a more internal, personal pursuit?
You have children? You have husband? This morning when I do walking with the Sangha, I feel very embraced and supported from the community, practice together. For us to, if we have the retreat like this, we focused on the energy of practice, of transformation, of the healing, of the community. So a lot of level, kids until the parents, until old age people, and a lot of components, a lot of composed in the community, and also a lot of supportive from the community. And I very treasure and happy we have the community and we have the practices doing that. It healed a lot of for each of us in the Sangha, not only the monastic, but also I feel that the community, everyone can feel embraced and support from the community. I think the people, when you go home, and maybe a little bit of difficult to have that energy and to maintain that energy, that practice with you. And I think at least in our own family, we set up the altar room. That room only for sitting and peaceful generate place. And the bell there, and the flowers there like this, and the cushion mats. We sit there and we generate the peace and also the healed for members in the family. And now your family come here and maybe get some practices with you. At least we know how to do sitting meditation, how to sit like this and eat quietly in 15 minutes. And also we know how to listen deeply and be present for our members, our children or our husband or our wife. And we do that, we apply that in our daily life. We choose that and we do that. Turn off the television or put away of the electronic device when we do have the circle like this in the family. And in the morning or in the night, we reserve 30 minutes to do walking together. Maybe if we don't have children go walking with us, you can walk with your husband or by yourself. At least we have 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes to do that in order we can maintain that energy. Each of us, monastic too, as a human, we have practice. But we need to do that because a human, full and empty. So that's why we always doing that moment by moment as human. If we know how to breathe one breath mindfully, that is good for us. If we lose that, we lose as the same, monastic or blade or friends, the same. So if we would like to do that, we maintain that, we do that. And you have a family, and maybe the family can know that, and we keep that first. And then you can further, you can collect some flavor friends around area together, and we can work, we can practice together. Yeah. And also one thing about the fourth training, if we feel complain or would like to angry or feel bực mình, irritated a little bit, just only a little bit, but we apply it right away. Okay, I choose not to speak, I choose practice rather than be angry, something like that. That is for us, more trust, more confident in the practice. I keep my practice rather than I leave myself as habit to, that is a little bit keep us in the path. Yeah.
Yes, Sangha, thank you so much for your patience to sit and also ask your questions, but also to listen deeply. So let us conclude by our session today to restart the bell.